Hey, I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood. Today I want to talk about a video on a project we're working on here in Burlington, New Jersey. And we're challenged with somebody who had a teak deck and what you do when you have new wood, old wood, and then the lattice is cedar. And what can you do? Well, sometimes there's nothing you can do. It depends on what the customer wants. We're tasked with the cedar. The cedar wouldn't match. So the cedar's a little bit different. So that's gonna have a different tone and color. Cedars naturally has, Western red cedar has that orange red look to it. If you hear the stuff going on in the background, it's because the guys are working, they're putting up some railings. And like I said, we're coming on the home stretch with this. We'll have this done either later at the end of today or first thing tomorrow morning. But anyway, let's take a look at the wood and we can see what I'm talking about. So if you look over here now, you can see cedar lattice. How are we going to match this with this? The only way to match that up, as I started to say, was truly with solid stain. And nobody wants a solid stain when you have nice teak, ipe, kumaru, garap, any of the hardwoods that are out there, Masser and Duba. You want the natural look to it. So we want this, and hardwoods will come with 3 different tones, a light, medium, and dark, and you can see that in the wood. You'll see it on the top when we go up. If you look down at the steps, you can see the different tones of the wood. So not each piece of wood's going to be is always going to be different. They're not going to be the same. Plus the different patterns to the graining and so forth will show up a little differently. Anyway, if we look over here, we can see new wood with old wood. Now let's go up on the deck and we'll see the same thing. We added corners to the deck. The deck has the new wood over here, and this is the older wood. We see how new wood, old wood, different types of wood all look different. Now, we're using transparents on here. Transparents are easier, they highlight the grain, they really make it look good. And that's why we like to use the transparents. So that's what the customer wants. They want the look of the wood. When you do a paint or a solid stain, that actually is more of a permanent decision. And that changes the whole project, whole everything, how you're gonna maintain in the future. If you want a natural look to the wood, you're gonna have to accept the fact that different woods, the age of different wood and so forth, will all look a little different, especially initially like with the work we've done here. Now, we come back out here, fast forward 2 years from now, most of this is all gonna look kind of more even. The wood will have weathered for a couple of years and then it all kind of looks the same. When we first started this project, the lattice, which is premium square cedar lattice, and that was more of a brown tone because of the aging and almost matched the deck. So even though it was different wood, it kind of looked a little bit more the same. Right now, I can't make that new cedar match that, but they understand that and they're moving forward with what we did. The only other alternative was to change it to manufactured product of lattice, but they wanted the wood, so that's where we're at. So the video is about, can you make all wood look the same? If you're using a transparent, no, you have to accept the characteristics of the wood and the different tones, ages, and so forth. You could tint the stains a little bit to get a little closer sometimes, whereas you might put a natural in one area and something a little bit of tint in another area you would add to the natural, but overall, it's not going to match initially. Best time to address that with a customer or with anybody you're dealing with, if it's your wife as well and you're staying in the deck, make sure you tell them ahead of time, new wood can't match old wood, and different tones of wood, especially new wood, will look different. I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about this particular topic, please leave them below. Be happy to answer them.